Welcome to Think Tank. I'm Steve Adubato, coming to you from the Agnes Ferris NJTV studio. We're pleased to welcome Dr. Paul Winslow, president and co-founder of an organization called Students to Science, which is?
Students to Science is a non-for-profit that focuses on inspiring, motivating, and educating elementary, middle, and high school students.
Good stuff. By the way, this entire edition of Think Tank focuses on young people. What we need to do to help them be the best they can be. It's also part of our innovation series, so I'm curious about this. Why is teaching STEM, science, technology, engineering, and math, so important for really young kids?
Well, I think it's so important for, excuse me, it's so important for everybody. Scientific literacy, especially today in our society where we're such a technology-advanced or technology-driven society. So, but when you talk about kids and improving their scientific literacy, it's important to start them at an early age in the educational process because, unlike many other careers, science has to build on something. It has to build on the basics. It has to build on reading, writing, and arithmetic, okay? And so there has to be this certain amount of educational rigor, and introducing it young and building on it is the most effective way to do that.
How does that help the nation?
How does that help the nation is that we, it's the only way we'll be able to compete globally in this economy.
Well, break that down. What does teaching young people more about science, having them be more literate, if you will, science literate, as you said, technologically savvy, and I don't just mean being able to mess around with a pad. Why does that help? How does that actually help our country and our society? As we all know, and there's a deficiency in scientists to fuel the economy that we have currently, especially here in the state. New Jersey is a technologically advanced state, home to just about every type of technology, starting with pharmaceuticals all the way to, computer programming and electronics and communications. And so it's important for us to be able to provide a pipeline or a pathway to those needed careers. That's where the jobs are.
That's where the jobs are.
Let's do this, folks, as we're talking to Dr. Winslow, I'm going to do this, ask our team to put up this Twitter feed, if you will, their Twitter account, my Twitter account. I'll tell you why. One of the things about Think Tank that's particularly exciting to all of us here in public broadcasting and our partners on the commercial side as well is that Think Tank tries to look at issues, topics that are often ignored in the media, not given enough attention to. So look at that Twitter feed, my Twitter account, write to me, I'll share with our producers, a topic that you think we should be looking at, something that's not getting enough attention, that's not just New Jersey regional, but national in scope, that affects everyone in society, if you will. That is why we're talking about this. Let me go back to this, Doctor. So, teaching science, technology, engineering, and math, particularly in underserved communities. We're taping in Newark, New Jersey, Brick City, right here where NJTV is. Why is that especially important?
So if you take a look at New Jersey, historically, New Jersey has done a pretty good job in sending kids from, graduating them from high school, sending them off to college to pursue careers in the STEM disciplines. But when you take a look at at that, most of those students will get those degrees, but they'll never come back to the state, okay? So one of the things is that, number one, we have a very high population of underserved students in our school districts, okay? But if we take those kids and we can help them get through high school, graduate, right then and there we've increased their earnings potential by 2x. If we can get those kids to pursue an associate's degree or a specialty degree at one of the vocational schools so they can go into the healthcare industry, we can raise their earnings potentials north of $50,000. If we can get them to stay and get a bachelor's degree and a PhD, then it's endless for them. But more importantly, most of those students will stay right here in the state and fuel the economy and supply the next generation of workers that the companies such as the healthcare companies and the pharmaceutical and biotech and the engineering firms need to stay here in New Jersey.
So what is this Newark Technology Center?
So currently, S2S has 2 technology centers. Our first
S2S, Students to Science.
Students to Science. Our first one and our home base is in East Hanover. And that one services anybody in commutable distance. We also have a virtual laboratory program that, erases the geographic barriers. But one of the things that we're doing is trying to build a replicable model, a national model that we can roll out statewide and nationally. So what we've done is we've come over here to Newark and we've built a 10,000 square foot facility right on Broad Street. It's embedded right in the Newark public school system. It is integrated right into the curriculum. It's written right into their 10-year plan for STEM education. So what it is it's a shared facility for all of the 60-plus schools within the district.
What will it do for those young people?
What it does for those young people is the virtual laboratory starts them in the 5th grade, gets them the skills, gets them inspired, gets them motivated to want to pursue more scientific courses. It is compliant with the next-gen science standards, so it's a help to the teachers, it's a help to the district, okay? And then what it does is it starts them on a pathway. They can participate in that program in the 5th grade, the 6th grade. And then in the 7th and 8th grade, they can physically come into the 10,000 square foot laboratory and work side by side with professional scientists.
Doctor, you see this as a national model.
I do.
This isn't simply a local or New Jersey issue.
Education is a big problem. When I started this 10 years ago, I started it as kind of a transition for me. I had just sold a company and, and I had a personal interest in education. And so I started it. But I realized very soon that if you're going to play in education, if you're going to try to tackle educational problems, you need scale and scope. So that is, what we've grown to.
Scale and scope meaning a bigger impact. Take what you're doing and not just do it in one community, but spread it out.
That's right. We started the first year, we did 300 kids approximately. Last year we did, up to now it's 66,000. Next year could be as many as 100,000 students.
You've been listening to Dr. Paul Winslow. This is an important initiative. This isn't just Newark. It isn't just suburban communities in New Jersey. It's New Jersey, it's region, and it's national in scope. He is the president, co-founder of an organization called Students to Science. Dr. Winslow, I want to thank you for joining us on Think Tank. As I always say, you've given us a lot to think about. Thank you very much. Stay right there. I'm Steve Adubato. This is Think Tank, and we'll be right back.
Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation, celebrating over 30 years of broadcast excellence. Funding for this edition of Think Tank with Steve Adubato has been provided by PSE&G, Johnson & Johnson, NJM Insurance Group, NJIT, RWJ Barnabas Health, the Turl Fund, supporting Right from the Start NJ, and by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation. Promotional support provided by Commerce Magazine and by ROINJ. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.